Hello, so in this video I'm going to be talking about some of the plein air easels that I use. I'm going to be talking about the ones that I put together myself, that I made, and also the ones that I purchased. So altogether I have about 3 plein air easels, and I purchased one prior and decided to sell it because it didn't work for me. So I'm just going to be talking about these easels that I have, the tripod that I use, and some of the palettes that I use. So first I'm going to start off with this Guerrilla painter's box. This is an 8x10 Guerrilla painter box, and it's called the cigar box, and this is from GuerrillaPainter.com. So it opens up. As you can see, it probably weighs about, I will probably say 8 pounds or more. And it's a little bit thicker, so this can hold your wet canvas. So once you get done painting, this is going to be able to hold and keep your painting. So you can pack it up in your car and not have to worry about holding a wet canvas or storing it, because it stores it all in one. So this one also, I'm just going to go into details in just a few, but I'm just going to kind of show you this box holds 2 canvas panels. So you can store one canvas panel behind and then in the front. So if you wanted to do 2 paintings, you can use this box to do 2 paintings. Another thing about this box, as you can see, I have a painting already in here. You can put your, this only goes like a landscape painting, actually horizontal. You can go vertical if you want to, but you might have to clip something on so that the canvas can be vertical, kind of like that. So also at the bottom here, this comes off. I actually made this gray palette. What I did was I took some cardboard and I took some glass and just kind of taped the glass and the cardboard together, because I wanted to have a gray palette. It's just easier to see the colors on a gray surface. So I made it so it could fit this box. So I just you can just take that off to clean it, and here is where I keep all my paints. So I have a little, what I have in here is golden open acrylic. So this is a slow drying acrylic. So it's kind of like painting with oils, except it's just a little bit different. But this acrylic is good for outdoor painting because the acrylic paint tends to dry fast, and this paint doesn't dry as fast. So this section is where I keep all the brushes. So this particular easel has a lot of storage space. So this is one good thing about this easel, is that it has good storage space. So you can put everything all in one, pack it up, and you won't have to worry about, you know, having extra compartments to hold things. So all you need is everything just fits in this one box. Snap it up and then you can just carry it. So as you can see, the back has this tripod hookup, and as you can see, this is how thick it is, if you can tell. But it has a carry handle, so you can put this will fit in any kind of backpack. So this is a good easel for like all-in-one. It's very small. It's a little bit on the heavier side. Not too heavy, but it's a little on the heavier side. But it does work with this tripod. Now this tripod is a Sunpack Travelite Pro. It's very, this will fit in a backpack too. So this is a very lightweight tripod, and this is very compact, so you don't have to worry about a big heavy tripod. This will fit in a backpack also. So this is what I use. I want to also talk about the Strada Easel that I previously purchased maybe a few years or so ago. Now that easel, it's a nicely made easel. It's metal, it's very durable, but I found it to be a little bit too heavy. So I decided that I wanted to sell it, and I do recommend it to anyone. It's a great easel, but I just felt like it didn't work for me. So yeah, I just decided to sell it, but it's a great easel. You can check that easel out too. It's just, and it was kind of like a little bit bigger than this, but it just was too heavy and it was hard to fit into a backpack. So I just decided that, you know, I'm gonna sell that one. So yeah, so that's what I did. I'm also going to show you this is another one that I recently had. It's called a Hugo New Wave Plein Air easel. So the company is New Wave and it's called Hugo. So this easel is very, very compact. I would say this is the most compact out of all of the easels that I have. So this one also has a tripod hookup. It's very nicely made. There's like metal here at the top. Nicely made. So I'm going to open this up. So this is extremely, extremely lightweight. So this is kind of like putting a notebook in your backpack. That's probably the size of this, is a notebook size. So this easel, you know, the little where you put the canvas, this comes out. I'll show you how I put the canvas on here. So it has these little teeth, and you just pull that out, and that's where your canvas panel fits. Or if you want to do watercolor, you can put your watercolor board on here. The nice thing about this is that when I purchased this, they had this little note, and it looks like they actually signed it. So this is the people who created it actually signed these, like a real signature, not a photocopy signature, but a real signature, and it says, "We thank you for your purchase." So it looks like this company is very, they put in here an instructional how-to video guide on how to use it. And let's see here. So yeah, they have a YouTube channel. This is Hugo Plein Air. So, but yeah, this is the surface where you can put your paints. And but yeah, this is very extremely compact, and it has magnets on both sides, so when you close it up, it stays together. The only thing with this one is if you're looking for an easel that's going to carry, like if you wanted to do oil painting on here, you'd have to find an extra carrier for that oil painting because you won't be able to store it in this box. So that's one thing I would say about that one. But it's extremely compact, and I plan on doing some gouache and watercolor painting. Mostly, I used to do a little bit of oil painting, plein air, but I decided that I'm going to try to do, this summer, try to do more of gouache and watercolor, only because, and maybe some acrylics, only because the drying time is very low, and I don't have to wait for anything to dry, and I just want to get some like sketches of some places without having to worry about oil painting mediums and solvents and things like that. So yeah, that's what I plan on doing with this one. So I'm going to actually show you, take this outside and show you how this sets up. So I'm going to take this easel outside, and I'm going to show you how I set everything up, and we'll go from there. So yeah, another thing, I have this Masterson Sta Wet Palette, and I decided to kind of customize this, and so I just kind of spray painted the top. I got this idea from Jared Loves to Draw video, so I decided I wanted to do just like kind of like what he did. So he kind of spray painted the top just to kind of customize it, and I glued in a gray palette once again because I like that gray color. You can see the colors more than as opposed to putting it on a white palette. So I have a little sponge here. If I want to put my gouache paint on here, that's where I'm going to put the gouache paint. So yeah, basically when I use this one, I'm just going to you know, put this on top of here because that way I won't have to worry about cleaning the surface. You can also paint on this white surface, but I decided I'm just going to use that palette. So I'm going to move on to the palette that I made. So for this easel, I found the idea to make this from Brian Ashmore Studio YouTube channel. And his video talks about making a watercolor plein air urban sketching easel. So that's where I got the idea to make this particular easel from. So you can go check out that channel, and also the Jared Loves to Draw channel for the Masterson palette. So this is just a sketchboard which I got from Blick Art Materials. And what I did was I got this board. It was probably about $8 or so. I got some wood from Home Depot and got some wood glue and got had them cut down a piece of wood dowel and stuck it, glued this onto this board. So this wood glue is very strong. This isn't going to come off. So I glued this wood dowel to the board, and that will hold your canvas just like that. I also put a tripod mount. I also got this at Home Depot or so, and I got a piece of wood. So what I did was I had them screw that tripod mount into the wood, and then I just kind of glued everything on the back of this board. So what it does is it connects, you know, you're going to connect that to your tripod. So yeah, this was probably altogether maybe about $10 to make. So the board, and then you got your wood dowel, and then your wood glue, and then your back tripod mount. So if you're looking for an affordable way to start some plein air painting, this would be the way to go. So you just stick that on top of there, and then you're ready to go. And if you want to clip your paper, you can take this clip and then just kind of clip it onto the board. So either way, you can do oil, acrylic, anything on here. So, and this will probably not fit into a backpack. You might have to kind of carry this on here. So I'm not quite sure what the size this is, but it may not fit in a backpack. So you might just have to carry this, and then put the tripod in your backpack. So yeah, this is most of the things that I have. I'm also going to add in, put in some clips on close-ups on these palettes. So just stay tuned. I'm going to show you just some of the close-ups on these palettes, and also I'm going to take some of these outside so I can show you how I set them up and show you how I set up for plein air painting. So here is the Strata Easel I was talking about earlier. It's a little bit larger than the other plein air boxes. It's a great company, but it just didn't work for me. But this is a really great material, and it's a little bit more expensive than the other easels. So you can find a lot of information on their website. This is Strada Easel, and they will give you so much information on how their easels work, and they also have different sizes, not just this one large size. So you can check this easel out to see which one works for you. So this company also has a nice video on the different sizes, so you can check out their YouTube channel and see the different sizes of Strata Easel. But this is a nicely made easel, and they'll tell you and give you more of an explanation on the sizes. So here is a view of the Guerrilla painter box that I showed earlier in the storage compartment. You see they have so much storage space. So like I said, this box can hold all your paints and your brushes, and you don't have to really carry. Only thing you really have to carry will be your water container. And on the side of this box, I think it's on the right side, there's a little clip that can hold a water jar, so you can have your water jar kind of hanging from the box. Alright, so I am outside and I'm going to start to show you how I set everything up for plein air painting. And so yeah, it's a nice day today, and I'm just going to show you some of the materials that I use and how I set up for plein air painting. Alright, so I have a chair, and then here's my bag. I usually use a backpack, but I'm just showing for today. I'm just going to show you how I fit everything in this bag. And yeah, so let me just take everything out. So I'm first going to start with the New Wave Hugo Plein Air. I'm going to start with that one. And so first of all, this is a Sunpack Travelite Pro. So it's very lightweight, very minimal. It fits in any bag. So all you do is just take the legs out like that. And there are little screws that make it tight or loose depending on how high you want it. So you can just tighten these up like that, and then the legs, you just unscrew these and tighten them to make them at the height that you want it to go. So I'm just going to show you how I just make it a little bit higher. This tripod took a little bit of playing around for me to actually get how to use it, but once you learn how to use it, it's really simple. But the reason why I like this is because it's very lightweight. And I can fit it in any backpack or bag. So that's why I like this tripod. So now that I have this set up, I'm going to show you how easy it is to set this Hugo Plein Air. So this is how it's how it looks, Hugo Plein Air. And I'm just going to attach to this. So I unscrew the top, and this is what I'm going to attach it to. And it has a little screw on the back, so I'm just going to take that little screw and I'm just going to screw it on here. And then I'm going to just slide it on. And tighten everything up. So as you can see, I have this easel is ready to go. So what I use is, like I said, I'm going to be doing some more watercolor and gouache and acrylic as opposed to doing oil paint. Nothing wrong with oil paint, but it's just you got to take a little bit more supplies when you use the oil paint. So I'm going to try to do more watercolor gouache and you know, just make it easier to take this out. So in my previous video I did a review on this gouache palette. It's a airtight gouache palette because gouache, you want to use that like you would oil paint. So this is good to use to keep your paints wet. So I'm going to just try to use more gouache, and it can just fit up here just like this. Also, my watercolor palette, I can just place this on top here, and then, you know, place my painting surface here. So I have all that, and all I would need is a plastic jar. And I use a plastic jar because when you have a glass jar, sometimes you could accidentally drop it somewhere, and you don't want to have a mess to clean up if you actually break your jar. So I recommend using a small plastic jar. So you can place that like right up here. Also, I use some very inexpensive brushes, and then I have this Crayola watercolor case, and I just put my brushes in here, so that makes it very portable. So you can just set that there, and then you just have a little rag, like I use a little washcloth. So I'm just going to show you just an example. I'm not going to do any real painting, but I'm going to show you an example. So you just have your water cup here, and that could be placed anywhere. Dip your brush, and then you can just start painting, and it's that simple. Like I said, this easel is it's easy to set up, and you don't have to, it doesn't require you bring a lot. So yeah, I really like this easel, and it's really easy to set up. The thing about plein air painting, I'll say, is you want to bring as minimal supplies as you can, because when you come out to set everything up, it's just hard to start painting when you have a big load of supplies. So you want to keep it very minimal. So like I said, this easel is I just got this easel, so I haven't tried it out yet, but as you can see, it's very simple to set up, very easy. It doesn't require a lot of bulk or material that you need to set up. I found that when you bring a lot of stuff, you use up a lot of energy setting up, and then when it's time to paint, you don't have any energy to paint. It kind of slows things down. That's another reason why I had to sell my Strada Easel, because it just was too heavy, too much to be lugging around, and I needed something very small like this one. So yeah, so that's what I like to carry, is minimal supplies as you can, especially if you're going to go out and paint in public, because sometimes you might have plans to go and do paint certain places and things, and then when you finally get there, I found by experience, when you finally get there, there are a ton of people walking around, and you decide you want to change locations, or you change plans or whatever, and you don't have that many supplies, so you can just pick up and go. But when you set up a large easel, like a French easel, or bring a whole bunch of oil painting supplies, just like I said, my setup is very minimal, and it doesn't require a lot. But if you bring a whole lot, you're gonna have to break all of that stuff down, and it just takes a lot of work, and it makes the process a lot harder. So if you have a simple setup, it doesn't take you long to set things up. You can get painting right away. You don't have to worry about, let's say you had to hurry up and leave, you can just pack that stuff up really fast. So yeah, I recommend, and even if you're a beginner, to start off with something small, because we have big ambitions to paint, especially for me. When I had big ambitions to paint outside, when I actually got out there, I got a little nervous my first time going, because I saw a whole bunch of people, and I decided I'm just gonna pack up. Maybe I'll try this at another time. So minimal is key. So I'm going to show you the other easel that I made. I'm going to show you how I can set that up. So I'm just going to take this easel apart. Another thing is, doing this video, I had to kind of hurry up and do it because doing it out here during the daytime, there's a lot of like landscaping people, there's a lot of noise, so I'm glad that I was able to get this filmed, so without a lot of lawnmowers going and everything going on. So but yeah, it's a nice day, and so let me just show you how the other easel sets up. So just like the other one, I'm just going to screw that tripod mount on here, just like that. And because this has a ball mount, it's able to rotate. And what I mean, I'm just going to show you under here there's a rotating this ball rotates, so you can move it up and down. So I can move it just like that. So as you can see, you have a stand, and you can just place your canvas right up here. And then this, with this watercolor palette, it has a thumb where you can put your thumb in and you can just hold it and just paint. That makes it easy to hold, so you can just stick your thumb through here. Now with this, you could place a magnet or something on here and then add your water cup to hold it, so you can always move this so that you can paint this way also. So the good thing about this, you can paint flat or you can tilt it. So yeah, those are my reviews of the easels. So like I said, you want to keep things simple. So these two will probably be the best bet when you start plein air painting. So I would definitely try these two. The Guerrilla box, which is the 8x10 thicker box that I showed you, you can do that too. That one is a little heavier. But like I said, keep it simple is the best way to go when you do plein air painting, because you don't want to bring a lot of supplies. I also want to make mention of Plein Air magazine, and it's a magazine that's talks about painting outdoors, and it also features a lot of articles and a lot of artwork from people who paint outdoors. This magazine has a lot of different interesting articles about different artists, and like watercolor painting and oil painting and just any kind of outdoor painting. This magazine also features different events and workshops and different paintings you can purchase, and also all different painting supplies. And so there's just a abundance of information in that magazine. So I'm showing you parts of the magazine that I have in my Zinio magazine. It's a digital magazine platform. So This magazine is off of Zinio. So if you haven't heard of Zinio, Zinio is a just a magazine resource. So I usually I like getting the paper copy, but this time I got the digital copy in Zinio because my local bookstore did not have any paper magazines. So, and the good thing with the Zinio magazine is that you can take it anywhere. So having an online magazine is great. You can take it with you and you don't have to worry about a lot of papers. So go check out this magazine on Zinio. So yeah, that is my take on plein air painting. I hope that you enjoy this video and at least try it. If you're nervous about painting outside, I would suggest maybe in your backyard, going to a park that's not too crowded. Maybe go early in the morning, because when you go early in the morning, there's not a lot of people, like maybe 6 or 7 in the morning. You'd have to get up early, but that will probably be your best bet if you want to avoid crowds. And just kind of drive around to see if you see any places that are not too busy. You probably want to start off painting. If you're new to plein air painting, don't go to real busy places unless you're real ambitious. You can, but if you go to real busy places, just know that you're gonna come across some people that's gonna ask you some questions. They're gonna look at you, they might stare, they're just gonna be, you know, looking at what you do, and they're gonna ask you questions. So if that makes you a little nervous, I would recommend going early, going and avoiding some places that are too busy until you work up the nerve, the confidence to go out and be able to answer questions from people, and you'll be able to handle people staring at you while you're painting. You might even get some people that say, I would like to buy that painting, are you going to sell it? So that's another good thing about painting out. People might want to buy your work when you finish. So I'm trying to think of some other tips, but keep it simple. That's the main tip. But yeah, just explore, don't give up. The first couple times I did it, I got a little discouraged, and I felt maybe this just isn't for me because painting didn't turn out good. So here's one of the paintings that, you know, that I did, and I did it fast. This is the one that didn't turn out good, but it allows me to remind myself how far I'm gonna get to. So if you have some paintings, keep those old paintings to remind you of your progress. So the more you paint, keep those paintings, and keep the ones you don't like too. Sometimes they can remind you of the progress that you're making. But yeah, keep it simple, keep it small. Don't bring a large canvas. You can if you want to, but I prefer not to. But I hope this video encouraged you, and if you have any questions, you can always leave some questions in the description about any of the things that I've talked about. And yeah, just go outside, have a good time, paint. The key is to just get outside and have fun. Don't worry about creating a masterpiece, trying to do things perfectly, because sometimes it just won't work out. I remember doing a painting, an acrylic painting that turned out beautifully, but as soon as the wind started blowing, a whole bunch of dirt just blew up on the canvas. And so I just kind of like had to laugh, because it was just, I created this beautiful painting, and then all these dirt and rocks started blowing, and it got onto my painting. So just know that outdoor painting, you might come into some unexpected things, like some ants might get on your artwork, or a leaf might blow on there, or something might happen. Might start raining. Anything can happen outside. So just try to keep it simple and have a good time. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.